All right, welcome to VMware Explore 2024 Day 2. The general session just finished, and if you were watching it, you may recognize this guy, John.
Yeah, no, it's more than just the snazzy code. Like, I love the blue. It's really working here. But also, I like some of the messaging from the main stage in terms of these silos and where we're going with product direction. And, if we're going to talk about products coming together, I feel like it's time to talk to the chief product wrangler.
Right. And so with that, VP of Products, Paul Turner. Paul, welcome back to the podcast. How are you? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's actually wonderful to be at this event. And it was a fun event earlier today, too.
Yep, we saw the general session briefly, but we've been interviewing all day. So I'd love to hear just a brief recap of I've heard you had a really good story around some of the challenges with the silos and all that. And so maybe we can get a quick rehash of that.
Well, I think your audience is going to know it already, right? I mean,
fair point. This is just for me.
Yeah, think about what we've done. We've got, the leading product for virtualization of compute with vSphere, the leading product for virtualization of storage, the leading product for virtualization of networking, the leading product for management of these things. But have we done a good job integrating them? No. Have people been able to then virtualize their entire data center because we actually have provided that as a single platform to customers? No. And that's the big change that we're really about today is and we announced VCF 9, which is where we brought all of our divisions together and we're actually focused on delivering this. So great to get the announcement out. Product will be forthcoming and I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I like the story of, us integrating the products rather than putting that on the customer or on the partner, so to speak, of being able to bring that together. What were some of the easy wins, I guess, of pulling this together, and what have been some of the harder challenges, I guess, from the back end execution of that?
Oh, good question. I mean, easy wins, if you think about it. How can you have a component set of products that are meant to interoperate together and they don't have common authentication mechanisms, right? No common OAuth. We were like behind the curve on that. Customers continuously talked, I'm sure your audience, talked about common tagging. About why can't you integrate your monitoring? Why does Verni have a different discovery as network insight and tie that in with your storage insights that you have, your compute insights that you have? Why doesn't the logs integrate in with the monitoring that you're doing through ops? Right, so all of that, if you're trying to root cause and analyze an issue and actually discover, where the fault may be, it's really difficult if you've got it across a whole different set of pane of glasses. So for many of your customers, that's a challenge. Lifecycle, though, was also a challenge. And we did make VCF, because we've had an integrated VCF product for a while.
Sure.
We made it too much of a kind of nirvana state that you can get to. We didn't embrace the customer where they are and be able to take and adapt in their current environments, bring together then all the value of the lifecycle that we've built, and we've done that now.
Yeah, the VCF import, we've been hearing a lot about that.
Exactly. Adapt in from where the customer is and give them value. At the end of the day, that's what they want. Like, help me automate my environment. Help me take my config management, show me where I'm drifting from a desired state configuration, and then help me remediate it quickly.
Yeah.
Help me with my certificates. Don't let them blow up all over the place and then suddenly I'm doing an upgrade and everything craps out.
Yeah, exactly. Not a good customer experience. I remember when VCF first came out and, full disclosure, I remember thinking to myself, this sounds like a great idea on paper, but the implementation just wasn't there early days. And I feel like as we've gone, as we've progressed, it's just gotten better and better. And I'm really curious, like, how do you think VCF 9 affects all of the changes that we've progressed for this connection of everything together? How does VCF 9, put their stamp on that?
Well, I think the big change is, think about it. You've now got a single new unified VCF operations console. It's not just a monitoring, capacity planning, and forecasting console. It's your central way for doing security management, license management, lifecycle management, and of course, monitoring diagnostics, integrating in our Skyline support capability directly into the product. We haven't given up on Skyline. No, what we've done is taken all of the rule alerts from Skyline, sent them to the customer's environment, and done all of the root cause analysis on the customer's data where it sits in the customer's data center, whether that's in a cloud data center or not. So that kind of change is a very big thing. The automation capability where we've taken VCD, right, which is the cloud director, which had really good multi-tenancy and support for extending with different application services, and then tying that in as a native multi-tenancy now into our automation, delivering better VCF automation. by bringing it together with the VRA product or ARIA automation, or what was the names that they kept changing the names.
Yeah. No, what I like about this, one, multi-tenancy ended in the product. As someone who used to deploy VCD in the early days, that's big. There's a lot more people who want multi-tenancy than just CSPs and service providers.
Absolutely.
But also this whole idea of ARIA operations becoming a central management platform, because I think of the early days of it, I was like, oh, that's a place I go for read-only information, for reporting to hand someone, not to implement change. But when you get to a larger scale, trying to do that vCenter by vCenter was not always easy. So
yeah, absolutely. I like to think of the vCenter evolving to being kind of your cluster manager. We're actually managing a set of services, and I need to actually do distributed management of that cluster. I need to set up the distributed switch. I need to set up my DRS and my policies. I need to build in my VPCs. We're building NSX capability directly into vCenter for that exact reason. But then when I have these kind of little regions that are actually managed as kind of vCenter and cluster set regions, then I want to actually be able to aggregate those and do all of my lifecycle, my policy, my upgrades, my security policies, my governance rules, all of those centrally. Do that from one central operations dashboard, one central automation dashboard.
And some of these things that may sound like almost like boring details are really exciting when you look at this in the context. Like unified tagging, there's a lot of automation you can do at multi-cluster scale. Absolutely. Once you have unified tagging. There's some boring hard challenges that we're solving that hopefully will enable, I guess, greatness in the data center.
Absolutely, for sure.
Well, Paul, it's you're a busy man, and I just want to leave with one question. Like, I know you've had a lot of customer conversations, and I'm curious, what has been the overall theme of some of the conversations you've been having this week?
So I think the customers are super excited, actually, that we're moving down this path. One of the most insightful for me is we were here Saturday and Sunday, actually, with our CTAB, Customer Tech Advisory Board, right? That's where we bring, a top 120, 130 customers. We deep dive on the roadmap with them for 2 days. That's where I get the benefit, right? Because then I actually hear, is it working for them? Does it solve enough of their pain points and problems? And it does. I mean, it resonated with them. So I know we're on the right path. I know we're delivering the right product to them. There's always more we can do, but the excitement that we saw from our technical team, and at the end of the day, the most important people for VMware, and for me as a product manager, and for the company overall, is the success of our technical team. Those are the team that actually change the data center with virtualization. They're the people that are going to change the data center to be an agile, cloud-based data center. And it's whether they deploy it into cloud environments. You saw the example from a customer today. They were doing it up on Azure Cloud Services, with VMware, as well as within the data center. But those are the customers. Those are the people that are really going to make this change. And it's all of your audience, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to see more of them. I want to see more of them at CTAB. I want to see more of them in our VMUGs. The tech community is the ones who are going to make this change. We're going to build better data centers, agile data centers.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Paul. That's fantastic.
I'm going to start racking some servers and get to work.
Yeah.
So let's get going.
Get moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, as always, thanks for joining us on Virtually Speaking, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right.